vengeance. I am the Knight. I am Batman!
Nerd culture is now pop culture. I remember being a little kid watching Disney XD and seeing 7-foot-tall Sasquatches stuffing guys in lockers and making them shotgun toilet water just because they like to watch cartoons about ninjas and people with capes flying around. So I used to be scared shitless that when I went to high school, people would hate on me because I was a fan of the Avengers and the Justice League. But bro, I get there and everybody is on their superhero shit. When Spider-Man No Way Home came out, about a quarter of my year group invaded the cinema just to watch it together on the Friday after it came out. I watched it on the Wednesday, and so did this one other guy in my class, and he spoiled everything for everybody else. And people were mad as well. That's how mainstream superheroes and nerd culture has gotten. But when the Batman came out, I saw it and I loved that shit. But I had nobody to talk about it with because not even one person in my school had even seen the trailer. People nowadays have been brainwashed by the MCU, man. They're really out here hating on my DC homies just because their latest movies that have been coming out in the past 5 years have been cheeks. I constantly have to defend DC like I'm Saul Goodman because everybody thinks that DC is trash. So I'm making a series called DC is Not Trash, starting with Batman. If you enjoy this video, then consider liking, subscribing, sharing to people who need to be educated. Okay, let's go. People who talk shit about The Dark Knight want my trouble, bro, I promise you. Everybody always has the same lackluster argument about why they think Batman is arse. 1. He has no powers. 2. He can't beat any other superhero in a fight. 3. He should just kill all of his villains. 4. He's just a rich, delusional psychopath and isn't relatable. So I'm gonna split this video into parts, breaking down each of these trash arguments. First of all, are you a sheep? Batman has no powers and can't defeat any of his supervillains in the DC roster. All his villains are mentally ill. Okay, clap it up for the most original argument of all time. Clap it up. Yes, Batman has no powers, but shouldn't that impress you more, first of all? Batman has proved himself to be at peak human physical strength, whenever he doesn't have any mystical power-ups like the Power Ring. Batman has been able to defeat some of the most skilled assassins and mercenaries in hand-to-hand combat, such as Deathstroke and Ra's al Ghul. Ra's has been alive for centuries. I don't think people actually understand how skilled and experienced this fossil of a man actually is. And Batman was able to defeat him all by himself with nothing but a sword, and sometimes just with his hands. Also, Batman doesn't assault the mentally ill or poor, but he also assaults the horrifically disfigured. Killer Croc has been smoked in a Cali pack by Batman countless times, and I'm not talking about the Ashy brother from Suicide Squad 2016. I'm talking about this behemoth of a creature that can compare in size to double-decker buses. Now granted, he doesn't compare to the Hulk as much in strength, but one pimp slap to your jaw and your head is going into orbit, bro. Batman has also had to fight intergalactic villains such as Darkseid's foot soldiers from Apocalypse, and at one point Batman even was able to defeat Darkseid, or at least foil his plots on multiple occasions due to his tactical thought process. He's never been able to fight him one-on-one and win, but he has come close when he was wearing the Hellbat armor, but it ended up injuring him really badly. But what do you expect? He is a human after all. Granted, in some of these stories, Batman does get put in a spliff, but cut him some slack. He's a human going up against an alien who's been able to withstand Superman's full fury. Also, Batman was able to create contingency plans for every Justice League member, in case they went rogue or evil or were mind controlled. Fortunately, they never had to be used on actual League members though. This was adapted into the Justice League animated series, when they had to defeat Amazo, an android which can replicate powers of other heroes. In this case, it was Superman. It was also adapted into the Justice League Doom movie, and one of Batman's standout moments is when the League question him for doing this.
Side? Or succumb to mind control. Yes, it's possible. That's why I developed plans for containing any or all members of the JLA, should the need ever arise.
None of us would ever do that to you.
Then you're damn fools.
It's definitely one of Batman's standout moments on screen for me. People don't understand that the Justice League are all friends, and Batman, well, you should know by now, Batman doesn't really have friends. So the League is like his only set of friends other than the Bat family. But Batman's eternal mission, his purpose, can even overpower his personal connections with the closest to him. Now, I'm not saying that Batman can just beat anybody because, well, he has no powers. And Injustice proved to me that even though Batman has hypothetical plans to apprehend the Leaguers, he can't predict everything, since Superman obviously successfully overthrew Earth, but hey, who knows. In Injustice 2, there is an ending where Batman beats Superman in hand-to-hand combat with those super pills, so... Smoothly sliding into the next point, if any superheroes were to slide on Batman, I can guarantee you that he would either find a way to defeat them, or at least make sure that they know Batman is not an easy target. Like earlier I mentioned, Batman has been able to prove himself as a highly useful asset both when fighting with and against other superheroes. The Injustice series perfectly depicts a version of a peak Batman who is clearly still human in how he can't just beat the whole Justice League alone, but he also learns tremendously from his mistakes in the sequel by evening the odds in their final battle with the Super Pill and the Kryptonite armor and a golden Kryptonite knife. But wait, we all know Batman is capable of f***ing the Justice League up, but what about Marvel characters? I can't lie. I would be a liar to say that Batman would easily defeat the Avengers single-handedly, but I do think that depending on the context, Batman could stop each Avenger in a one-on-one rivalry. Here's an example I have. Batman vs Iron Man. Tony Stark and Bruce Wayne have very comparable net worths of billions of dollars, which they both have put into their crime fighting lives a lot. Bruce Wayne traveled abroad for years, learned fighting skills from some of the most skilled and wise combatants in the world, and also gathered some of the most knowledgeable detective and strategic skills possible. Whereas Tony Stark also did train with highly skilled fighters and such alike, also using his genius mind to build more and more advanced armors as money could afford. He kind of used his suits as a crutch rather than honing in on the human ability, like Bruce Wayne did. Batman has made mech suits with the abilities to fly, enhance strength, and more. I mean, look at Batman Beyond's suit, for example. But there's a reason why he only uses these suits when he's either old or very injured. It's because he doesn't need it. Batman has proved again and again that he doesn't need to fly or shoot lasers and lift cars to be a hero or detective. If he stays sharp with his more down-to-earth suits, he can stay a sharper hero overall. So I know that if there was a short storyline of Batman vs Iron Man based on both of them in their primes, due to Batman's sharp detective skills and Tony Stark's lack of a secret identity, he would be able to find a way to short-circuit the arc reactor or make its battery-like ability much weaker. So whilst it still prevents the shrapnel from reaching Tony Stark's heart, his suits won't be able to be powered. But wait, what about Iron Man's remote suits? Batman would find a way to defeat those, let's be real. Now, just because I think Batman could defeat Iron Man, his main Marvel foil character, and maybe some other members in the Avengers too, I know that he isn't invincible. Tactics and plans cannot always prepare you for what's to come. Hence why I feel like a character like Deadpool could defeat Batman. Deadpool can be so spontaneous and unpredictable that even the likes of Taskmaster are unable to match his fighting style or tactical sense because Deadpool is that unpredictable. So I feel Batman has many ways he could get the upper hand against Deadpool, but Deadpool still could outdo the Bat, and so could many other Marvel characters. Captain America, Daredevil, Wolverine, Charles Xavier, Mr. Fantastic, and more. Batman not being the most powerful hero isn't a good argument. People love the Hulk. I've heard so many people say that the Hulk is their favorite superhero, but there are so many instances where the Hulk does quite morbid and horrific things, making him quite the anti-hero. But Batman is one of the purest of heroes, never turning to a villainous or anti-heroic path. Well, unless he's under mind control. Or it's his father Thomas Wayne. Or if he gets fed up with the Joker constantly spamming him with Shrek X Shadow fanfiction. Wait, hold on, what was that last one? And of course, Batman has his infamous no-kill rule.
A 12 gauge! Ah! Yeah! Oh! Batman doesn't kill, but I do.
I can't tell you how many bald spots I have from ripping out my hair after hearing people constantly say that Batman should just kill his enemies. He's giving them so many chances to escape and kill again. I mean, why else do you think I wear this beanie indoors? Now I know. I'm probably like the 1000th person on here to talk about the sentiment of Batman's no-kill rule, and why it's not dumb, and without this trait, then Batman probably wouldn't be Batman. High Top Films does a really good job at this, so if you want to watch a full-length video about that, then watch this video after mine. You've probably seen it already, so stay. Thanks. I understand that if Batman did kill the Joker once and for all, this could work as a way to deter any possible future tragedies caused by the Clown Prince of Crime. But due to Batman's trauma of witnessing firsthand what murdering someone can do to the people around them, he can't bring himself to do it, because not only will doing this make him be just like the people he swore to stop, but he also would be causing another young Bruce Wayne out there to lose their father, their mother, their uncle, their aunt, or their partner. Payoff, the Joker has no family, he cut them all off. Oh really, huh, smart guy? What about Harley Quinn? Imagine this scenario. The Joker is about to hatch another one of his master plans, with Harley at his side, and Batman shows up. He runs through the Joker's henchmen like they're bowling pins, and finally gets to him. The Joker starts his monologue, and he doesn't even care at this point about getting hurt, because he knows it's Batman. He won't kill the Joker, right? Even when he's tried to make the Batman break and kill, it's never worked. Batman walks up to him. Before the Joker can even get out one witty quip, his neck is snapped, right in front of Harley Quinn. The day is saved, sort of. Harley Quinn, already a mental wreck, has just lost the Joker. And even though he was abusive and didn't give a shit about her, she loved him. No matter how much that they tried to help her at Arkham, which, let's face it, they aren't gonna do shit to help her, she's mourning the man she loved, with no one to help her or aid her in her grieving process. And in this scenario, Batman has just lit a flame inside of her, and she will probably plot against him, inevitably break out of Arkham, and try to continue the Joker's fucked up mission. Not only did Batman killing the Joker not solve all of his problems, but he also took away a proper chance at helping Harley Quinn properly rehabilitate. And by becoming Harley Quinn's Joe Chill, he's created an anti-Batman. If Batman kills, he is no better than Joe Chill. And in this scenario that I created, Batman let the Joker win. The Joker has been shown to care little about his life if it could mean him causing Batman to break or for the world to crumble at his own hand. Batman killing is pretty much the equivalent of breaking him, breaking the already broken man that he already is. If Batman kills, then Batman learnt nothing. It means he didn't take away the importance of his parents' murder. And that is what makes Batman special. I can name a countless number of orphan superheroes, and I can also name a countless number of superheroes with no kill rules. Spider-Man has no parents, and vows that while Spider-Man exists, nobody dies. Daredevil's single father was shot in a back alley, and he also used his powers to fight crime without killing his foes. The whole point of the X-Men is for there to be peace between humans and mutants, so of course they do what they can to not kill people, and that includes the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. But all these people I mentioned have killed in certain ways. One time when Spider-Man and Wolverine were going up against each other, he had thrown a punch meant for him, but instead he hit a woman, and he killed her. Daredevil was out for revenge after the murder of his father, and unintentionally killed a woman who tried to attack him when he was inside her apartment, which ended up being the origin story for Typhoid Mary. The X-Men have caused massive tragedies in their wars against Magneto, and don't even get me started on Wolverine, the near-immortal man with knife hands. Even Batman has been the cause of people's deaths. In Arkham City, he wasn't able to save the Joker from his illness. Some would say that Batman was a big part in killing him, but Batman says it himself that he would have even saved him. My point being, the non-kill rule applies to almost every superhero in the book. The only difference being Batman has been able to keep up with that rule for the most part, and it plays a massive part in why he's Batman in the first place. That doesn't mean he doesn't want to kill people. He's stated multiple times that he's thought of killing the Joker, and highly contemplated doing it at different points, such as after the Joker killed Jason Todd, but Batman didn't do it. But he's not the only one. After Gwen Stacy's death, Spider-Man loses his shit. He finds the Green Goblin and attempts to beat him up so badly to the point where the Goblin can't fight back anymore. He catches himself though, and realizes that a few more punches and he would have killed him. The narration panels zoom in on Spider-Man's disgust towards himself for almost letting himself become such a hateful person to kill another man with his bare hands. These stories both end similarly in the Joker supposedly dying by the gun of his own henchmen, and the Green Goblin dying at the blade of his own glider. Although these two tyrants died at the hand of their own villainy, both Spider-Man and Batman, fueled by their grief, rage, and vengeance, almost broke their rules of not letting anybody die at their helm, even their villains. I find it hilarious how people constantly speak about how Batman is so unrelatable, and you can't empathize with him because of how extravagant his life is.
He's a rich boy whose parents were gunned down in front of him. He also has a personal butler, a gadget-filled cave on his private island, and he has more surrogate adopted family members than I have brain cells.
But Spider-Man, the guy who both lost his parents and his main father figure before he graduated high school, lost his first love because he couldn't stop the person responsible, the guy who was sent to Battleworld by a godlike being to fight to the death for no reason but entertainment, the guy who was shot and buried alive by a furry assassin, the guy whose 150-year-old aunt died like 3 times but was brought back because Marvel editorial said so, the guy who can't fuck MJ because his sperm will kill her. So relatable. Now I know what you're thinking. Spider-Man isn't relatable because of all the supernatural bullshit that he goes through. It's his humanity. He's poor and can't always be there for people because of other responsibilities he's tied up in. He desperately wants to go to his parties, spends time with his friends, spend time with his girl, but he can't. If he does decide to be irresponsible, he lets others down, like he let Uncle Ben down. Okay, so my question to you is, why don't you view Batman in the same way? Batman feels guilt over himself for something he feels he could have prevented, and it motivates his whole lifestyle. He suffers from severe attachment issues and can't connect with people, even his own children, due to losing loved ones at a very young age. Even though Batman clearly has people there for him, people who love him, a family, he suffers in silence. What he does on those streets, he doesn't necessarily enjoy it, but this is the true him. He gave himself an impossible task to fulfill, because he believes he owes it to his parents and anybody else who suffers from crime like he did. He inevitably pushes away his family, his partner, because he is still traumatized in his mind. Bruce Wayne, Batman, never left that alleyway. There is someone somewhere out there who is also too hard on themselves. They cut off others just because of their own personal mission. Maybe they've lost a loved one, maybe at a young age, maybe recently. So what do? They turn to the pages of a Batman comic. They watch a Batman movie. They watch Batman the Animated Series. They relate to him, and they learn with him. I didn't watch my family die in an alleyway. I didn't train abroad with some of the best warriors in the world. I don't patrol the streets of a corrupt, crime-ridden city that the world would say is beyond saving. I didn't get powers from a supernatural chair that gave me all the knowledge in the universe, but I relate to Batman's persistence. He doesn't allow for things he starts to go unfinished. He doesn't give up, but he's not perfect, and neither are we. Batman is definitely a crazy guy with a fortune under his belt, who assaults people at night and lives out his childhood trauma dressed as a winged demon. But Batman is also the symbol of hope for Gotham City. Maybe his methods are flawed at times, and he could turn to other methods, but is he really the only one? All superheroes have made mistakes, caused massive problems and destruction in their battles, but they persevere, they learn from their mistakes, and Batman is a perfect example. He's selfless, he's observant, and he would give himself up if it truly meant that the world would be safe from crime. Any of these heroes in our comic book pages would. I mean, he would literally rather be Batman full time than live the easy and eccentric playboy life of Bruce Wayne. The only reason Bruce Wayne still exists is as another mask to help people by using his money to solve problems in the broken city of Gotham, to fund everything he does as Batman. Batman does seem to be overpowered at times, but he's still human. He loses, he wins, he hurts others, or he gets hurt, but so does everyone else. If you're only a consumer of Batman and his theatrical appearances, then I suggest you try Batman the Animated Series. If you enjoyed that, there are lots of other spin-off shows and tie-ins to keep you going. But I also would highly suggest you read some Batman comics as well. Here are some that I like. So, to conclude, thanks for watching the video. This video took a long time for me to make, so if you enjoyed it, I'd really appreciate a like. If you're like me and know lots of people who don't understand Batman, then share this video with them. And if you want to see my video on Superman, then subscribe and turn on notifications, so you'll know when it comes out. If you want to support the channel, just comment saying I like the video and that's enough. I hope you have a good day or night wherever you are, and I'll hopefully see you next time.